YES Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance.
We will now have a conversation fueled with inspiration, grit, and resilience. And to moderate the chat, I would like to call on stage Gaurav Kalra, Vice President Current Affairs, YCOM 18 Media. And ladies and gentlemen, we have with us one of India's most outstanding tennis champions, having represented India in numerous international tennis events, including the Olympics and the Davis Cup. This champion has had consistent presence in Grand Slam events and has achieved career-high ranking in doubles. Please join me in welcoming Rohan Bopanna, Indian tennis player and Grand Slam champion, world #1.
I need to do the thanks right here. The hint is in the name. So, thank you very much. We're going to be talking about passion and persistence for long-term success. All very big words. I know you're a sportsman and lots of big words don't necessarily come into your life every day. But I want to begin, Rohan, by just acknowledging what you've done. You are now, and I know Mugdha mentioned it, but you are now the world #1 in tennis in men's doubles.
Thank you very much.
Just think about how many people around the world play tennis, and we are lucky enough now to be sitting across a man who is right on top of that tree. Not just that, you've done that at, really you're just a young man, you're only 43 years old, you're going to be 44 in less than a month, but as you told me outside, that's just the thing. So I want to speak for all of the 40-year-olds in this room, including myself and a lot of others. Thank you for giving us hope, all of us who are facing this sort of midlife crisis in our jobs. Here you are, you can get to the top of the tree at 44. It must feel like, do you wake up sometimes and say, is all of this real?
First of all, good evening to you all. Lovely to be here. Something different from my normal job, so it's really nice to do this. And Gaurav, thank you. I wake up very happy with what I'm doing, and the age is the last thing I'm really thinking about. Especially being at #1 in the world, I don't think I should even think twice about that. So really happy with the way the year has been, how the progress has been. But yeah, just enjoying the journey currently.
Let's actually talk about that word perseverance. I mean, just for the audience here, Rohan turned professional, which is how you become, when you play on the circuit and make money, and that's your livelihood essentially. Back in 2004, 2003, if I'm not mistaken, it's taken you 21 years, but you haven't given up. The team back here gave me some stats. There have been 19 different doubles partners, men's doubles partners. There have been 61 slams that you've played, and finally you're a men's doubles champion. I know you won a mixed doubles champion. So this kind of perseverance, where have you got this from to just keep doing this day in and day out?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a long time, and I was reading this book where it says, and I'm sure you have heard this term of 10,000 hours. I started my tennis journey at the age of 10, and I really feel initial stages, every academy I went to, they said I was not good enough. I was born in Bangalore, but brought up in a place called Coorg. My parents still live there, in the beautiful land of coffee. But I think I never had anyone to really play with. So, so the hours were less, and I really feel I started maturing much later. The #1 thing which I really had is, no matter what the coaches told me or the trainers told me, I woke up every single day and did that. I think that's the perseverance side of me which kept me going, no matter whether I was losing first rounds every single tournament I went to as a junior. I don't think anyone in the country who has played tennis for a long period of time, they even heard my name in the junior circuit. it was only at the age of 21 I had a big breakthrough. And I really feel 4 or 5 years ago, I must have completed that 10,000 hours. And then, that is where I feel now I've completely matured past that and using all my experience, to understand myself and, enjoy, competing at the highest level.
Yes, and we've enjoyed watching you. The other aspect of your success, which is remarkable, is that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like you to take a look at this wonderful athlete. He's very fit. He's all of this sort of remarkable international athlete. But you've got the knees of a very, very old man, don't you? You've got no cartilage in your knees, so you're not supposed to be competing in international sport, let alone beating the best players in the world. Once again, where has that come from, that you've willed this sort of, for want of a better expression, almost broken body of yours to reach right the top of the world?
You're right, Gaurav. The cartilages have completely worn out. But the good part is that, these are the limitations. Sometimes we set ourselves that, my knees are weak and I can't do too much. But then I looked at it as maybe it's an opportunity now to try and get better and see what we can do. And end of 2019, when I realized that my cartilages were fully worn out, my doctor in Bangalore said, try the platelet-rich plasma, PRP injections. And he said the injections might work, but it's not like you just take the injection and go play right after that. You need to do a lot of strengthening. So the COVID time was kind of blessing in disguise for me. That's when I really discovered Iyengar yoga. Even though yoga is, part and parcel of, a country, but I always thought it's something very slow. I wouldn't enjoy it. But at this juncture, I said I need to try it, because anytime I went to the gym, I tried to lift weights, did some leg press. It was too much of pain. And then end of 2019, I was on 2-3 painkillers a day. So I started, during the pandemic, I started doing Iyengar yoga for about 4 times in a week, 90-minute sessions. And surprisingly, slowly the muscles started, building up again, and the strength, I could feel much stronger. Immediately when I started playing tennis, I didn't feel any pressure on the knees. And that, I said, this is, first of all, no pain, which felt great. And so then I went back to the yoga teacher and I said, how I feel. And I said, okay, we worked on the knees, but I need to work on, my entire body. And then somewhere I feel also my mind became calmer. On the court, I feel that I don't feel rushed. I think clearly, I understand no matter whether it's a match point down, set point down, no matter what the scenario is, I don't feel that I'm, feeling tensed or feeling rushed in any single way. And I think that perspective of that mental strength has changed, which is, I think, really helped me in my journey for the past 2 years.
Yes, and in fact, you won a record number of tie breaks, if I'm not mistaken, at the Australian Open to ultimately win that tournament, which meant that you were always in pressure situations and you were responding really well to them. Now, since we are at this, since we are at a growth summit, and we should talk about how the growth journey of an athlete, the fact that you're experiencing this high also comes at the back of some really difficult lows that you've had to endure. And one of the things that caught my eye, and I'd like you to talk to people about that, Rohan, is you mentioned that there was one moment, I think 3 or 4 years ago, you've referenced this, where you actually recorded a video and sent it to your wife saying, I think I'm done. Can you talk us through what that moment was and how you found a way back from there to reach where you are, the #1 player in the world?
Yeah, Gaurav, that was an extremely difficult period of time. It was in 2021. I played the professional circuit for about 18 years, and I was doing that every single day in, day out. And I started 2021, and I went 5 months without even winning a match. And then that's when I could not understand what was going on, because I'd done this for so long, and I don't think that I had that kind of period where it was such a low that every time I was going to tournaments, doing the right thing, practicing, but I was not able to win the match. So I'm sitting in Portugal, there's a tournament in Estoril, and I'm sitting across the ocean. I love the water and everything. So it was amazing just sitting there. And I started expressing these thoughts in my head, to myself. And then after maybe 10, 15 minutes, I said, okay, let me, pull out my phone, record a video, and send it to my wife of, how I'm feeling. I said the best person is to send my wife because my wife is a psychologist, and I feel somewhere
that explains the newfound maturity, and that's what I was wondering about.
She's my in-house shrink, I think, somehow. Just expressing myself, I think, totally started understanding, how I was feeling. I suddenly got into this rat race of saying I need to win matches in order to get my ranking better. My ranking is dropping, and I needed to. I forgot why I started this journey, why I picked up tennis. The main reason was because I enjoyed the sport, I enjoyed competing, and for that 3-4 months, I kind of had lost that. So by just, talking about it or speaking to it loudly and just recording myself on a video, suddenly I realized what I was missing. So the minute I went to the following week, and I said, okay, let's just not worry about the result and, enjoy the match. I won my first match, and, then it changed everything.
Does the video still exist on your wife's phone or your phone?
I think she has it.
Okay. So I guess it's the job of a pesky journalist now to somehow get that video out and say, all right, 4 years ago, before and after. Let's talk a little bit about the role as a role model now. Like I said, you can be a young athlete, have success. You did that. You've had a lot of success as a young athlete. Sure, this is the pinnacle. But even now, as the success you're having in your 40s, with so many people watching and admiring, do you see that as an important facet of your role as an ambassador for sport? That you need to be a role model, not just to young people, but also to people such as a lot of us 40-year-olds in this room who think, right, there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
No, I think the biggest thing is there is no time limit. Success can come at any time. I don't think success come at a particular age. It can come to all of us at any given time. And I constantly tell a lot of the parents who bring their students to my academy in Bangalore, I keep telling them, don't be in a hurry. The minute the kids are 14, 15, if they're not ranked top 10 in the country, they want to pull them out and send them to education and everything. I said that is where we do best because we are spending maximum hours of time in the school. Hence their priority is that. If you change that perspective and spend those hours in a sporting ground, the chances of them doing the same thing is extremely high. And anytime a parent is there at a coaching center, maybe a few of you all have witnessed this or heard this, that we are outside there watching our kids train, and then we tell the coach, this happened, he should have done this better. But not once as a parent we have ever gone to the classroom and told the teacher what to do. But when it comes to sport, we are all great sportsmen and coaches ourselves, even though we have not played that sport. So I really feel that if you give that kid a chance and if you send them to whatever academy, you need to trust the coaches like how we trust the teachers in the classroom. And similarly, it is a journey. It takes 10 months, 12 months to go to the next step. But in sport, after 2-3 months, say example, John said Rohan Bopanna Academy, they want him to become the next Rohan Bopanna in 3-4 years. It's impossible. It's impossible. No matter which coach you have in the world, it's not possible. So the journey, I tell them is a long journey. It's a process. No matter, yes, of course, there are exceptions that few people, come out and, become world-class champions. But at the end of the day, it is still that constant day in, day out of sacrifices, which comes from the parents as well, including, the children. For me, I've missed tons of birthdays, tons of family weddings and everything because my priority was tennis. I think that is something I try to keep telling them, no matter who it is, you need to find out what is your goal, what is your priority. And then I think at any age it is possible to achieve that success. Yep.
So if you're starting at 10, you could wait 34 years, but you'll still get that Grand Slam title, and that would be the journey.
Why not? if that is something you have started and you want to achieve the best and be at the top, I don't think there should be a time limit, because everyone else sets those limitations for us. It's not us who set the limitations for ourselves.
There's another fascinating aspect about doubles tennis, which I think, people would appreciate understanding, is that as opposed to the singles game, obviously you're in it with a partner. And there have been some wonderful stories of your partners you've had a lot of success with. Matthew Ebden of Australia. Normally Indians and Australians don't get along very well, if you look at the history in cricket, so you've broken that mold as well. But Aisam Al-Qureshi, for instance, from Pakistan, you guys reached the final of the US Open 2010, a long time back. Sania Mirza, with whom you've had a successful mixed doubles partnership. Can you talk us through what it takes to be building partnerships of this kind and coming together as this doubles unit that actually has success?
I think very simple, Gaurav. The biggest and number one key is communication. That's what builds good partnerships. No matter who I've played with, I really felt if you share a good rapport, even off the court, and build that camaraderie, build that communication, whenever I went on court and played with them, it became that much easier. Especially when it was close moments, tough moments. Qureshi and myself were friends for a long period of time before we even started, playing the doubles together. One of the reasons we started was when we were traveling. I was one player from India and he was one player from Pakistan traveling, and all the Europeans started hanging out together, South Americans hanging out together, and we said, okay, we have some common interests in terms of food and everything, and tennis being such a lonely tour, it's good to have some friends. And I think that friendship started, and before we even teamed up together, simultaneously all the other partners, I think I got along with them off the court really well, and that actually helped in that partnership on the court as well.
One of the other wonderful things that's happening, and I've spent a lot of time around sport. I'm a little bit older than you, although perhaps looking at us, I probably can pass off as the younger man, not really. But there's these wonderful stories that have come through which are non-cricket stories. Neeraj Chopra, we all know the success he's had. Chirag Satwik now, #1 ranked players, doubles pair in the world. We are seeing you reaching the #1 ranking in the world. Some of our young shooters ranked #1. There's success across sport. And you play internationally a lot. Do you see a perception change about India, about the way the nation is perceived, and how that's reflected in the sporting achievements we are having?
No, I think it makes a huge difference having support from the government, corporates, everyone coming together and supporting sports, because I really feel we have phenomenal talent in the country. It's just that the lack of opportunities, which doesn't get us, through there. I mean, if you look at tennis, you have to be a member of a country club or, join an academy, which is sometimes very expensive. Otherwise, there's no really route to get there. And thankfully, to all these other sportsmen also who are doing well, has definitely changed the perspective of, the younger parents who want to get their kids, in various different sports now. And I think sports builds a fantastic friendship. Tennis is a great teacher of discipline, bringing a structure in place, solving problems from a very young age, teaching you failure from a very young age. So I think sport itself, is a amazing thing to really pick up, whether it is recreational or professional you want to take it. I think it just encourages so many different levels, and I'm great to hear that, or to see and be part of these guys who are doing well in various different sports. And I think India is just growing. In 25, 30 years, we'll have, top athletes in every discipline, I feel.
Just a side note, all of the guys I mentioned, they're all in their 20s. So you got...
That's why I said 20 more years.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You've just got a couple of minutes now, and Rohan has to go as well. So just some final couple of thoughts. You've started the year really well. And there's a big touch point this year, isn't there, which is the Olympics. In Paris, few months to go from here. Of course, the way you're playing, you'll have to play with an Indian partner, all of that. Just thoughts on that, given that there's been a bit of a sketchy history at the Olympics as far as Indian tennis players in the past are concerned. Is that on your radar now, having success at the Olympics?
I think the number one thing is just getting tennis back at Olympics. I mean, having a spot there, being number one now. I can definitely choose, partner of anyone who's ranked top 300 in the country. We do have a few players ranked from 60 to about 130. We have about 10 players. Anyone I'm going to be playing with is going to making their debut. But I think that they have nothing to lose. I think the opportunity is there to go and really represent the country. It's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, there's nothing bigger than representing your country at Olympics. And I really feel that as a team, we could be really dangerous. Nobody really knows, how we're going to play. So, and also at Olympics, when, like we said, you have to play with somebody from your own country. Most of the doubles players on the circuit, they are playing with partners from different countries. So they also have to, come together and, get matched up pretty well. So I think anything can happen that 1 week. I've seen this, major change in the last 4 days of the Grand Slam, which I was playing. So, I'm definitely positive with that.
All right, we're out of time. So final thoughts from Rohan Bopanna before we leave. Let him go. One, Novak Djokovic, in that there was a lovely video doing the rounds after the Australian Open, said if you could partner him when he finishes up playing doubles, is that on the cards? What would be lovely to see? Any chance of a Bopanna-Djokovic pairing sometime at a Grand Slam?
At a Grand Slam, definitely not. I don't think he wants to play at a Grand Slam, but yeah, at an ATP event, definitely possible.
Right.
Hopefully that, happens one day.
Heard it first here, Rohan Bopanna and Novak Djokovic. And I think I have to let you go. Lots of films being made and biopics being made on sports persons who've had success. So have you started to think about who should play Rohan Bopanna if there's a Bollywood blockbuster made on you?
Thank you, Gaurav. I think your time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything. And
all right, we'll take a straw poll on that one. Thank you, Rohan. Thank you very much.
YES Bank and CNBC-TV18 present the Growth Summit Vision for a $10 trillion economy in association with Max Life Insurance.